After almost losing all of my career mode saves, we are thankfully back for episode 8 of our realistic Crystal Palace career mode. Just a quick PSA for anybody who is unaware, do not use these checkpoints. I did, and I almost lost all of my saves. It told me there were multiple storage devices for my FC25 profile, and it basically wouldn't let me load up the game. I did manage to find a workaround, and I have recovered all of my saves, but I think other people haven't been so lucky, so don't bother with the checkpoints. Just save at multiple intervals using the main slots. So it was looking ropey for this career mode save for a minute there, and it was looking ropey for us at the beginning of the season here as well. We were struggling to dig ourselves out of the relegation battle that we found ourselves mired in towards the beginning of the season, but a couple of strong months and 5 good points picked up in the month of February against Manchester United, against Aston Villa, has left us with just 2 games to get to in today's episode, and a really good opportunity to put some valuable points on the board. We'll be hoping to put newly promoted, bottom of the table Ipswich Town to the sword in our featured game of the episode at Selhurst Park, and I'll also be showing you highlights of our trip to St James's to take on Newcastle. Since it is going to be a shorter episode though, I figured we could jump into a youth game or two, since we do now have a couple of decent prospects in the academy. We have a couple of goalkeepers who have got very, very high potential, a couple of playstyles between them as well, but they are a long, long way off, just 5'7" and 5'8", and of course they do have the notoriously low diving, 16 and 20. I think there's potential for them to grow both literally and in the diving category though. Couple of left backs, Nichols looks half decent, as does Schmidt. Fairly similar players. Schmidt though with a higher potential range and 4-star skill moves, 77 and 76 pace at this stage though. Mathis looks decent, again good pace at 83 at just 17 years of age. Reiter looks to be a fairly similar player once more. Edwards and Mohammed are players I'm definitely excited about. Mohammed looks that nothing jumps off the page in terms of the attributes, but it looks to be very, very well rounded. 65 pace, 62 passing, 60 dribbling, and then even 57 shooting and 56 physical. Nothing spectacular, but looks good all around. Miller looks horrendous with the blonde afro and the relatively ghastly features. I have taken a couple of youth prospects out who I just could not take seriously in terms of their appearance. Ashton, 80 pace at just 16 years of age, 4-star weak foot, power shot and rapid. We've got a couple of players in here with some good play styles, a couple of players with some really good pace as well for youngsters. 81 pace for Adeyemi Akpan. Very, very excited by that. 3 play styles for Schroeder, finesse shot, first touch and quick step. 76 pace, 4-star skill moves, up to an 89 potential, looks very good. Frank the same, power shot, whipped pass, acrobatic, 71 pace. Needs a lot of work in a lot of other areas though. All other attributes are red. And then we've got a couple of strikers as well, Robson and Turner. So we are going with Jones, Akpan, Miller, Mohammed and Reiter as we take on Manchester City in the quarterfinals of this youth tournament. The first youth tournament I have played. I haven't touched this yet in FC25, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Akpan immediately with the fantastic challenge finds Miller, who turns on a dime, gets the shot away. Good save from the Manchester City keeper though. Akpan pressing high. Wasn't certain that that would be a particularly useful tactic here in rush, but it does seem to be halting Manchester City's attack for now at least. Mohammed back in a good defensive position, but Manchester City still work an opportunity. Jones finds Reiter, who in turn finds Akpan with the goal at his mercy. And it's another great save from the City keeper, Mohammed. See what he can do. Well-rounded. Wanted him in the centre of the park just to boss things as good defensively as he is going forward. And it's probably not worth trying a long shot. It's definitely not worth giving the ball away to Manchester City, though. We are playing with these players' current overalls rather than at their full potential. So a lot to be desired in terms of first touches, pass accuracy, and those kinds of things. Miller on the break. I think this particular game format really doesn't play to my strengths. It's another good save, but surely we've got the opening goal, and we have. I think it's Reiter opening the scoring for Crystal Palace Youth against Manchester City. But I was saying that I think this game format really does not play to my strengths. As has been pointed out, I think it's actually Miller opening the scoring. As has been pointed out in the comment section multiple times, I am basically allergic to skill moves. And I think skill moves are obviously something that's going to be useful in this 5-on-5 rush format. So is Akpan stealing the ball away, breaking in behind with that pace, and finishing though. That's just as effective. Who needs skill moves when you can just pickpocket the opposition, burst through on goal, and finish clinically past a helpless goalkeeper? 2-0. Just 10 seconds to go until half-time with a 2-0 lead. We are just playing on 3-minute halves. I don't want to be here longer than I have to, and it's a good save. Jones needs to get back to his feet. Does so. And we weren't playing on 3-minute halves. I guess we were playing 3 minutes total. So we do advance to the semi-finals with a 2-0 victory over Manchester City, and with a match rating of 9.4, having travelled 2,692. What that is, I'm not sure. What, meters? Miles? Who knows? But Adeyemi Akpan gets your man of the match. So we are going with the same lineup for a second straight game as we take on Arsenal this time. Once more, a 3-minute match, and Akpan is straight in there. Akpan from range gets the shot away, and it's blocked. Will we get a corner? I didn't see any corners, I don't think. We do get a corner here. Probably not the most useful. However, we can take it short and get the shot away with Miller. It's a really good reaction stop from Schofield, the Arsenal keeper. And it's actually Reiter this time. Reiter and Miller, very similar looking. Well won by Akpan. That guy's a beast. Definitely somebody I'll be looking to get into the Palace first team. Akpan, touch, shoot. Oh, it's a good effort. Again, let's just look for Akpan. He's the magic man. He's the one who can get it done. Mohamed hits the post. Used Akpan as the decoy. Just allowed Mohamed to get in behind on that occasion. Can't put the ball in the back of the net. Akpan, can he beat all 5? Well, he beats 1. Let's throw in a little skill move. Beats 2. Can he beat the 3rd? Not quite. Does force him to turn back and relinquish possession. Akpan once more. Cuts inside. Quick feet. Beats 1. Beats 2. Beats a 3rd and finishes. Akpan. What a finish. What a goal. We need to get this guy in the first team sooner rather than later. We do, of course, have that custom objective. We need to play 2 youth players in 10 or more games this season. I've decided I don't think we will count Roscoe Torres and William Davidson, though I was considering doing so. I feel like that would be cheating slightly. So with only 7 games left to go in the Premier League, we are not achieving that objective. We are currently looking like we're going to fail a number of objectives this season. However, I wouldn't be opposed to getting some youth players into the team ahead of the very end of the Premier League season and seeing what they can do. And Akpan at the moment is showing that he's going to be the front runner for a call-up. Akpan with Miller outside him. Can we put the game to bed? Yes, we can. It's going to be another 2-0 victory by the looks of things, and we should be progressing to the final. And Miller steals the ball away and could actually make it 3. Mohamed, 3-0 Crystal Palace. Mohamed on the score sheet. I think Reiter is the only outfield player who hasn't scored for us yet. And it is going to be a 3-0 victory, and we will advance to the final of our very first youth tournament. And there we will be taking on Everton. I see no reason to change the lineup. It's worked very well for us so far. And again, we're going to try and get Akpan in amongst the action immediately. And he does collect once more. And he doesn't quite beat the Everton defender, who looks enormous. Who is this 25? Is that just Beto? Is that just Beto playing for the Everton youth team? Akpan down the right wing. Everybody leaves him. Akpan to finish, and it's a poor one. Scuffs it. Pressing Everton high, but they do go route 1 in search of their big front man. Somebody check this guy's passport. He is enormous. Miller. Akpan collects, brings it down on his chest. What a touch. Has the strength to hold off the Everton defender as well. Can't find Mohamed, though. Good pressing from Akpan, forcing the ball all the way back to the Everton keeper, who does a good job, to be fair, of just lofting it out towards Schmidt on the left-hand side. Here is Gross, who continues to enamor me with his height. Mohamed with a big run. And Gross is so quick, too. How can he be that tall and that quick? I swear this guy's just Beto. 20 seconds remaining. Still deadlocked at 0-0. Neither side really has had a clear chance. Akpan scuffed that shot wide earlier in the game. It's really been the only opportunity for either side. And I'm interested to see what will happen if we are still 0-0 at the end of this game, which is looking like we're going to be. Will we be going to penalties? Is there extra time? Do we split the trophy? It does just look like an extra period. It's an extra period of 1 minute. So 1 minute of added time. Not sure whether it'll be penalties after that. Akpan looking to make sure we don't reach that stage to find out. Again, Akpan twisting, turning. Eventually beats his man. And eventually finishes. And is it going to be golden goal? Or do we see out the full minute regardless? I guess we'll find out once more. Hopefully no penalties, though, either way. And it is golden goal. Akpan, man of the match once more. He had a rating of, I think, 9.6 maybe in the first game. He had a rating of 10 in the second. Just a 7.8 here. But once more, he has travelled 2,676 something. And has scored the winning goal in not only the game, but in the final of the youth tournament. So Akpan, only 16 years of age. His potential range is only a 70 to an 86, which if he was to meet the higher end of that, would obviously be a Premier League level player. It's not the highest that you would see amongst these kind of youth players, and it's certainly not the highest in the youth team, but he did look absolutely incredible. I think we leave him in the youth academy for now, but certainly a player we are keeping an eye on in terms of promoting to the first team ahead of, or at the very beginning of, Season 2. For now, though, we have a game against bottom of the table Ipswich Town to focus on, and this game will finally see the return for the second time this season of Eberechi Eze to the starting lineup. So it's going to be our first opportunity to see our new look front three and our potential front three for next season in Eze, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Luca Kolyosho. Other than that, a pretty familiar 11, Adam Wharton and Daichi Kamada, are becoming the go-to pairing in midfield for Oli Glasner, and Tyrick Mitchell returns to the back five once more. No place in the side, though, for Roscoe Torres, not even on the bench, curiously enough. The youngster has not been seen at Selhurst Park, nor even at the training facilities since he exchanged some heated words with Oli Glasner. Torres really caught the eye whilst filling in at left back for the injured Tyrick Mitchell, and was understandably frustrated when his place in the 11 was handed straight back to Mitchell upon his return. We'll have to see whether Torres and Glasner can reconcile their differences, find some common ground, or else Torres might be leaving the club in the summer. But for now, let's head over to Selhurst Park, try and put in one of our performances of the season, put Ipswich Town to the sword, show them no mercy, and come away with these 3 points. So he is back. He may not be around for much longer, but let's enjoy him while we can. Eberechi Eze back in the lineup. And it's going to be our first real opportunity to see him in this new tactical system. Of course, it is only slightly different from when he was last in the side, but those slight changes have made a big difference. Using the custom tactical preset as Luka Kolyosho immediately finds Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He turns the ball toward goal. Carried away by the Ipswich goalkeeper, Walton, however. No Muric in goal for Ipswich Town today. And Eze will deliver the corner. Lacroix in there. Wharton can't turn it towards goal. Can't find Trevor Chalobah alongside him. And Clark comes away with it for Ipswich Town. Adam Wharton in the vicinity, as is Daniel Munoz. Nice little cut inside from Leif Davis, though. He finds Sammy Smodic. And I think Smodic and Amari Hutchinson could prove to be a dangerous pair up front for Ipswich today. And they are proving to be exactly that immediately. As Dean Henderson, like Walton at the other end, forced into a good save early on. Trevor Chalobah on the near post for some reason. That's less than ideal. Daichi Kamada dispossesses the Ipswich attacker well, though. And the danger for the moment is clear. That's a really loose pass from Daniel Munoz, though. Sails out of bounds. And Calvin Phillips takes the throw. Amari Hutchinson, one of Ipswich's key danger men. Not caused enough danger for opposing sides so far this season, though. They are rock bottom of the Premier League and guaranteed, I believe, to be relegated. If not guaranteed, very close to it. Good challenge, Mark Gahey. And I think we can work the ball clear. Munoz. Kamada with a good run up ahead of him. Tyrick Mitchell on the far side. No Roscoe Torres at all today. And I think he probably would have made something more of that particular situation. Header well won by Daniel Munoz. Adam Wharton finds Eze. Mitchell on the overlap. Lofts it in towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Headed clear by Ipswich Town. And we are going to need to make a decision relatively soon about who we keep between Eberechi Eze and Mark Gahey. Hutchinson beats Mitchell, turns back inside. Hutchinson can't decide which way he wants to attack, inside or out. Eventually he makes his mind up, and he does beat Tyrick Mitchell. Daichi Kamada back in a good defensive position, though. And once more, Kamada has been far better defensively so far today than we could have expected him to be. Mark Gahey comes across to try and cut it out. Can't quite manage to do so. Daniel Munoz deals comfortably with the danger, though. So we are not guaranteed to be able to keep either Eberechi Eze or Mark Gahey at this stage. And if the Premier League were to finish today, we would be losing both of them. The custom objective we set ourselves at the start of the season said that we had to finish above 13th. That's such a loose pass. Thankfully, Maxence Lacroix makes up for it. Eze in behind. Mitchell too much on the pass. And it does go out harmlessly for an Ipswich Town goal kick. So if the Premier League were to end today, we would be losing Eberechi Eze and Mark Gahey. We had to finish between 8th and 12th to be able to keep one of them. I'm still hopeful we can finish in the top half. And as we said, if we win today, depending on Everton's result, we could potentially take 12th place from them. So if we were to keep either Eze or Gahey, comment down below who you would prefer that we kept, because I really can't make my mind up. Eze is obviously one of the most creative players in the side. He's obviously our best attacking talent. Daichi Kamada is proving that he's right up there as well, though. As he finds Luca Kolyosho, who's easily shrugged off the ball by Leif Davis. However, Mark Gay is arguably the face of the side as much as Eberechi Eze. If Eberechi Eze is the face of Crystal Palace, then Mark Gay is the heart and soul of the side. And I think there's as much of an argument for keeping Gay as there is for keeping Eze. So I really can't decide. Luca Kolyosho fakes the run inside before going outside. I really can't decide who we should keep. So I am more than happy to leave it up to you guys in the comments. So let me know, Eze or Gay. We might be forced to sell both, but if we can keep one, who do we keep? Leif Davis beats Munoz. Certainly hasn't been the spectacular performance that I was hoping for so far. And we do have an injury in the side as well. It looks to be Trevor Chalabar, Amari Hutchinson. Tyrick Mitchell does a good job just to stand him up. Does allow Hutchinson inside eventually, though. Dean Henderson makes the save at the near post. And it is going to be... I keep seeing these tutorial pop-ups because I had to clear my profile when I was recovering my career mode saves. It's part of the way that I managed to get them back. But Luca Kolyosho, if there's one player on the pitch that can keep up with Kolyosho on a quick counter-attack, it is Amari Hutchinson, and he was the player that was there. Tyrick Mitchell, though, just about gets there. Tries to find Eze. I think that's going to be a handball, though. And a Crystal Palace free kick, and it is. So an opportunity potentially to cause some danger for Ipswich Town. As Eze delivers, finds Adam Wharton. And indeed, we do create some danger for Ipswich Town. And that danger provided by Eberechi Eze. I mean, this is another reason why it is so good to have him in the side. Not just what he can do from open play, but we really don't have too many particularly good set-piece takers. And we've seen there that Eberechi Eze can make the difference from dead ball situations. I mean, the header from Adam Wharton is pretty much straight at the goalkeeper, but he's 6 yards out. There's a good amount of pace on... Is that a shoulder rather than a header? It's absolutely clattered by Calvin Phillips in the meantime. But I don't mind too much how we get the 3 points today, as long as we get the 3 points. I would prefer a dominating, convincing performance. We haven't got that in the opening half an hour. But there is still 2/3 of the game yet to play. And we can still go on to twist the knife a little more than we have already. Ipswich Town even kind of dominating possession, really. Only 49%, but when you take away the percentage that was being contested, that doesn't leave too much possession for us. Kamada. Gay into Munoz. I really don't like the 2D map today. The colours are too similar. And the shapes, without the differentiation in colour, can't really tell them apart. I usually rely on the 2D map quite a lot. Eze can't win it, but Calvert-Lewin brings it down, gets a half volley away, and it's an incredible save from the goalkeeper. Touch on the chest, turns it towards goal, fires with his right foot, and the goalkeeper comes out, makes himself big. That's an unbelievable save. I thought Dominic Calvert-Lewin had added to his account there. It's another good ball in from Eze. Chalobah can't quite turn it goalwards, and he is still nursing that injury. If he's still nursing it at half-time, we're certainly going to have to take him off. We may have to take him off beforehand, because it has been a good 10 minutes at least, but maybe more towards 15, that he has been carrying that injury. Tyrick Mitchell. We really want Tyrick Mitchell out there, but he's got the ball in centre midfield. Oh my days. It's just disjointed today. There's just no fluidity. No cohesion to the attack so far. And it's been loose passes like that far too often as we try to get a real foothold in the game. We have the 1-0 lead, but 1-0 leads always feel somewhat fragile. Chalobah finds Gay. Munoz on the right. Koleosho with a good run in behind, but don't provide the pass. And that's an awful challenge from Kamada. And it looks like he's going to get away with it because that was a potential red. Really well cut out by Daniel Munoz. And Kamada lays it into his path. And we can break down this right-hand side. Lay the ball into the path of Luca Koleosho, who can't quite find Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And again there, maybe just not on the same page, the attackers. As Trevor Chalobah is still nursing that injury, and I think the next time the ball goes out of play, we're going to have to take him off. And we are going to do that here, as it goes out for a Crystal Palace goal kick. And Daichi Kamada gets that yellow card. So Trevor Chalobah to leave the field. He is replaced by Chris Richards. Hoping that it's not too serious for Chalobah. We do have some cover at centre-back, and Chris Richards is more than capable of stepping up and taking his place. We do, of course, have Riyadh behind the two as well, who is not quite at their level at this particular moment in time, but is a younger player. A player I wouldn't mind getting in the starting lineup every now and again. Hasn't really had his opportunity this season, just because there are so many talented players ahead of him. But I think with his opportunity, he could take it and run. Tyrick Mitchell. That's inside. That's what we want Eberechi Eze doing. Finds Daichi Kamada, though, who's going to strike from range, and it's a poor one. It's a really, really poor one. But those are the kind of positions that we've seen Daichi Kamada, particularly in the last episode, cause issues from. As we see the opening goal once more. I'm sure the goalkeeper doesn't want to see that again. I'm sure he'd much prefer to see the save that he made from Dominic Calvert-Lewin shortly after that. Davis finds the left winger ahead of him, and it's Sammy Schmoditz in the number 10 for Ipswich, who are going to be looking to get level before the half-time whistle. They haven't caused us too many issues defensively, but Leif Davis looking to change that. Finds Clark. Smodic again in a good position in that number 10 hole, just in front of the back five. And Chris Richards beaten. Can't get the foot in his initial action of the game. And Steen Henderson making another good save at his near post, and it's going to be Amari Hutchinson to deliver the corner once more. Daichi Kamada in there, heads clear. Eberechi Eze trying to force Ipswich Town back. Potentially with the last opportunity of this first half, as Amari Hutchinson tries to find an opening. Eberechi Eze can come away with it on the right-hand side. Just seconds left on the clock. And Tyrick Mitchell has made a perfect run. And Eberechi Eze plays a perfect pass. Calvert-Lewin can't quite win the header. And it falls to an Ipswich man rather than a Crystal Palace shirt. But it is going to be 1-0 at half-time. Certainly not the convincing, imposing, devastating performance we were hoping for before the game. But it's Eze's first game back after a while. Trevor Chalobah had to go off injured. We looked a little disjointed. The result more important than the performance. So back out for the second half. No changes just yet, but I imagine we will see changes for Oli Glasner and Crystal Palace as the second half progresses. Daichi Kamada on a yellow card. Luca Koleosho slightly short of match fitness. And the performance so far just not quite up to par. So each of those things really combine to spell changes. Kamada finds Calvert-Lewin. Can't find Koleosho. Doesn't have the strength to hold off the Ipswich Town defence. And of course we are looking to hit certain criteria that will determine not only whether we keep Eze and or Gay, but also whether we bring Dominic Calvert-Lewin back on a permanent deal in the summer. He's looking to score 8 to 10 goals, looking to get 10 to 12 goal involvements. And currently it's not looking like he's going to get there. I think he only has 2 goals for us so far. Calvin Phillips. Smodic finds Hutchinson. Smodic once more. Looked like he was shaping to shoot from range there, but instead gives the ball up. Adam Wharton. Good challenge. Good strength from the Ipswich Town striker, though. And it's Smodic once more. Morsey. Calvin Phillips. And Amari Hutchinson. Can't beat Tyrick Mitchell on this occasion. And it's a good challenge, Chris Richards. Couldn't make the challenge in his first action of the game, but certainly does there. Kamada. And we have players over on this left-hand side, one of whom is Tyrick Mitchell. Another of whom is Eberechi Eze, who is offside, and the pass was an awful one anyway. We just can't get it going. We cannot get it going from an attacking perspective today. It's been really poor. We're going to have to play far better than this against Newcastle if we're going to get a result there. Lacroix. Eberechi Eze standing on his toes. Tyrick Mitchell. Into the path of Eze. Looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The cross is not a great one. And headed clear by Calvin Phillips. Amari Hutchinson. Again, beats Tyrick Mitchell. He's not been good, Tyrick Mitchell. Gave him a big contract extension earlier in the season. And I personally wouldn't say he's lived up to that so far. He was fine to start the season, but not massively impressive. And I think Roscoe Torres has made far more of an impact in the side in Tyrick Mitchell's absence. Oh, Ipswich Town cut inside with Clark, and it's a good save again at the near post, Dean Henderson. Ipswich pushing for that equaliser though. They look the more likely to score at the moment. Hutchinson to take another corner for Ipswich. Kamada again in position to head clear, and it's instead Mark Gay on the near post, who hooks clear as Ipswich win the header. And it's a good save in the end from Dean Henderson after the rebound is turned towards goal as well. I really would like to switch somebody like Kamada with Gay, who's just on the near post. We can dictate where players are stood from corners in an attacking sense. I don't think we can change that defensively. However, we do have Mark Gay on the back post in terms of our corner kick assignment, so I wonder if that's why he's on the post defensively as well. I might look at changing that when I make a substitution and see if that does make a difference. Hutchinson, it's a good block by Gay. And Tyrick Mitchell trying to come away on this left-hand side, but I mean, he's not even particularly pacey, is he? Somebody who is pacey is Luca Koleosho. Eberechi Eze has found him. This is exactly how we want our system to work. Koleosho just can't quite cut inside. And the ball does go out for an Ipswich Town throw. I think change is coming soon, and I think Koleosho for Sarr is going to be one of those changes. I'm a little bit worried about this Kamada yellow card as well, so that might be a second change. Ipswich Town looking to continue though, and we will do the same. Really good from Kamada. Chris Richards. Adam Wharton. Again, we have players over, if we can find them. Luca Koleosho picks it up and drives. Cuts inside. Nice little run from Kamada to take the Ipswich defender away. Adam Wharton. It's a great challenge from Calvin Phillips. Thankfully, it does fall to Adam Wharton, and it's a really poor shot. Awful finish from Wharton. Smodic to come off for Ipswich. We'll make a change here as well. So 2 changes for Oliver Glasner as Luca Koleosho and Daichi Kamada each leave the field. It's going to be Ismail Assar and Job Bellingham on to replace them. Have also put Tyrick Mitchell on back post for corners. So it'll be interesting to see if and when Ipswich get another corner. Whether or not Tyrick Mitchell is there from a defensive perspective as well as when we get corners of our own. For now, though, Ipswich looking to grab an equaliser here, and I think we're going to drop into our 5-2-3 control tactics, where we just look to control the game a little more, keep possession of the ball rather than looking to counter. That's exactly what we haven't managed to do there. Connor Chaplin finds the Ipswich striker. Phillips in support as well. Slipped through for a Murray Hutchinson, who thankfully is offside. So we don't counter quite so much in our control tactics, and instead we look to just control possession. Slow the game down. That's awful. That's so awful. Giving the ball away far too easily today. Far too easily. It's been a really, really poor performance. Adam Wharton. There's Joe Bellingham. Drifting out to the right-hand side with Ismail Assar inside him. And here is Ismail Assar. Adam Wharton. Driving towards goal. Not too many options up ahead of him. Does have the strength to hold off the Ipswich defence, though. And Ipswich dropping plenty of players back in their final third. Chris Richards finds Bellingham, still hanging out on that right-hand side. And now driving towards the Ipswich penalty area. Ismail Assar strikes. Forces a save at the near post from the town keeper. And it is going to be Eze to deliver the corner once more. Eze corner gave us the goal in the first half to put us 1-0 up. It's not going to give us a second, at least not the first time of asking. Joe Bellingham, that's a good strike. Balls to Maxence Lacroix, who finds Tyrick Mitchell, who hangs it up at the back post where Dominic Calvert-Lewin is moving away from the ball. Your players just aren't alert. They're just not alert to the situation. Dominic Calvert-Lewin there should be switched on. He should be staring Tyrick Mitchell down, anticipating the ball in, hanging on the shoulder of the last defender there, ready to make a run and get on the end of a Tyrick Mitchell cross. And he's just not interested in doing any of those things. Adam Wharton gets the shot away first time. It's right-footed and it's wide. Again, it's a poor finish. His first time on Adam Wharton's weak foot, so it's not actually a bad effort, to be fair. Goalkeeper always happy that it was going wide. But a decent enough effort from Wharton. Can't expect too much of him in that kind of situation. Bellingham trying to win the ball back. Count on his energy in midfield at the very least. Tyrick Mitchell gets there. What an intervention that is. Neberechi Eze beats Johnson. Can't beat Calvin Phillips. Trying to cut inside onto his right foot. Almost steals the ball away from the Ipswich Town defender, though. Oh, and Adam Wharton can't quite get there. We've given up far too much possession to Ipswich today. It's not a wonder that we haven't been able to put in the performance that we were hoping for, because we've given up possession far too easily and we've allowed the bottom of the table side to dominate us in terms of possession, to be honest. Connor Chaplin strikes from range. It's blocked easily by Lacroix. Munoz has got to get there, and he does. And he finds Gay. Ismail Assar just about. Munoz. There's Adam Wharton. And Eberechi Eze on the far side. It's a really good pass, but Johnson just about gets back. It's dropping right onto Eze's chest. Connor Chaplin finds the Ipswich striker, who gives it straight to Daniel Munoz, and we will break here. And it's a two-footed challenge. Fortunately for the Ipswich defender, he does get the ball. But it's Chris Richards venturing down this right-hand side, putting in a cross of his own. Blocked by the Ipswich man, but I think with a hand. And we'll make our last couple of changes of the game as Adam Wharton leaves the field. The scorer of the winning goal as it stands. He's going to be replaced by William Davidson. Dominic Calvert-Lewin leaves the field as well. Eddie Nketiah on to replace him. And Eberechi Eze to deliver another free kick. Puts it in a good area. Davidson wins the header and it goes wide. He's so dangerous in the air, William Davidson. And it's a towering header. Flashes wide of the far post. I'm not sure the goalkeeper would have got there. Taken short by Walton. Ismaila Sarr pressing. Joe Bellingham doing the same. Ismaila Sarr almost stealing it away. In a dangerous area for Ipswich. Daniel Munoz drags high up the pitch as well. And does steal it away. Gives it straight back. So frustrating. It's just been a very frustrating performance. From start to finish today, really. But if you get 3 points at the end of a frustrating performance, you know you're doing something right. Of course, you'd be happy with 3 points and the kind of dominating performance that we were hoping for. But anybody can win when they absolutely dominate the opposition. If we're really going to be successful over the course of this save, we need to scrape together wins even when we don't play at our best. And that's certainly been the case today. And it's currently looking like we are going to do exactly that. Eddie Nketiah, William Davidson, Eberechi Eze. Is he going to get there? Just about. Almost another instance of a frustratingly loose pass. And it's going to be an Ipswich Town free kick. And it's going to be, what, an Eddie Nketiah offside? Just. It's actually Ismaila Sarr. Already into injury time, though. 2 minutes of 3 that have been allotted for the game. And it does look like we are going to edge Ipswich Town out of the 3 points here at Selhurst Park. Ipswich Town showing no urgency to get the ball forward. Very little for them to play for at this stage of the season. And given their situation, to be fair. But we do manage a 1-0 win. Not convincing by any means. Not merciless by any means, as I was hoping for. But as we said, doesn't matter too much. There's 3 points on the board. We want 12th or above. So this is a step in that direction, even if it wasn't a particularly convincing or impressive one. And Everton did lose 1-0, so we do leapfrog them and take 12th position in the Premier League. Unfortunately, they lost to Wolves, so they moved to just a point behind us in 13th. And that does bring us to our second and final game of the episode. We said we would need to put in a much better performance against Newcastle than we did against Ipswich to come away with the result. And we're going to try and do that by changing the formation, the tactics. So going with the 4-4-2 for the first time this season. Munoz, Lacroix, Gay, Mitchell make up the back four. It's going to be Ismaila Sarr, Daichi Kamada, Joe Bellingham and Eberechi Eze in midfield, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Eddie Nketiah up front. This game was frantic, to say the least. Alexander Isak put Newcastle ahead just 10 minutes into the game. A really tidy finish as the ball fell to him inside the penalty area. And less than 2 minutes later, a defensive mistake allowed Isak in down the right-hand side this time, despite Mark Gahey's shirt pull. Isak again managed to tuck the ball neatly into the back of the net to make it 2. Just 5 minutes after that, we had our first goal of the game. Daichi Kamada finding Ismaila Sarr, who in turn found Eddie Nketiah at the back post. So within 15 minutes, there were 3 goals in the game. Within half an hour, there would be a 4th. Mark Gahey fouling the Newcastle attacker to give away a penalty. And Alexander Isak tucking it neatly away in the top corner to grab a 27-minute hat-trick. Immediately after the restart, it looked as if Eberechi Eze might get us back into the game as he broke away after a Newcastle corner. He cut inside, but the shot with his right foot, unfortunately, was a really poor one. Eddie Nketiah, too, found himself in a good position for Ismaila Sarr's cross, but again, his glancing header was not quite on target. The introduction of Luca Koleosho and Jean-Philippe Mateta completely changed the game, though. Koleosho finding Mateta, who burst through on goal, and with one of his first touches of the game, fired past the Newcastle keeper to make it 3-2, which set the stage for a dramatic late equaliser. Koleosho and Mateta combining once more. Koleosho pulling the ball across to Mateta, who found the same corner to level the scoring. So we were 2 goals down within 10 minutes, and we would go behind again in the game, even after pulling it back to 2-2. but still we managed to come away with an all-important point. It may not seem like a big deal, but away from home against Newcastle, who are in a Champions League place at the moment, I believe, in the Premier League table, that point could prove to be monumental. It does take us another point clear of Wolves in 13th place. We are now 2 points ahead of them. We are a full win ahead of Everton in 14th position, and we are just a point behind Chelsea in 11th, although they do have a game in hand at this stage. And we do have just 2 months and 9 games remaining of our Premier League season, and it's going to be a busy month of April. We're going to be taking on Southampton, Brighton, Manchester City, Bournemouth, and Arsenal in the next episode. So some good opportunities to put some points on the board, but some difficult fixtures in there as well. So some very, very important fixtures left to play in the season yet, but it is starting to look like we might be able to finish 12th or above after all. So again, get those votes in the comment section down below. If we do finish 12th or above, we can keep Eze or we can keep Gehi. Who would you prefer? Look forward to reading those comments ahead of the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.